What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? It's Monday. You know what that means. It's that time. It's Motivational Monday. We do this each and every Monday. We come on here, try to get that week kicked off on the right foot. We want everybody to come in, sit down, listen, talk in the chat. Alfreda, good to see you. We just want everybody to, get their week off on a good foot. As they say, as the song used to say back in the days. Myself and the great man talent. Every Monday we do this because we care and because, like I said, we want to see people kind of get that, get that wheel going. Sometimes, you come off the weekend, can't quite get an emotion. So, we hoping that this show and what we do and the information we provide sort of puts you in that space, in that headspace, puts you in that energy. Some people use workouts, some people use music. People use all kind of beautiful things to motivate themselves. But whatever your motivation is, please make sure you motivate yourself. Make sure you stay hydrated. We're moving towards the warmer, months in the year for some parts of the country. If exercising is your thing, stay consistent. Do what you do. Do not let somebody deter you from what your goals are and from where you see yourself going. Everybody is not privy to your mind frame and your mindset, and everybody can't see your vision. And that's okay too. Don't worry about it. You know why you're doing the things that you do. You know what your end game is. That's all that matters. So hopefully my co-host is in and around. And if he is, then, we'll bring him in shortly. But it is Monday.
Oh, I'm around, brother. I'm around.
The one and only talent.
That's my light brother. On this joint. I'm
from
around.
Another. And
that's what I do. I be around.
We do this every Monday.
Nigga say what you do for a living. I be around.
How was the weekend, King? How was the weekend? Because I know you've been out here traveling around the country and just making people smile and putting us in the right space from a laugh standpoint. How was the weekend?
Man, the weekend was pretty stupendous, brother. Shout out to Massachusetts, Boston, Westport. Both those areas, dope shows. Shout out to, where did we start? We did a joint in Jersey. My man, happy birthday to the big homie out there, Paterson, New Jersey. Had a nice little private little birthday thing, a lot of family in town. So about 4 or 5 of us went by there, blessed him. That was Wednesday. Then Thursday, we blessed my man Jonathan Gates up in Boston. Left over there, an hour over to Westport. And I did a joint over there, Steve and company over there. They got a nice little thing over there. I think we were sleeping on Westport. Then we got there, it was like, oh, okay, you niggas is oh. So, and then of course, we wrapped it up after that. Got out of Westport and we had to go all the way to Syracuse. That was that show with Kiki Wyatt.
Yes.
Now, first of all, let me say this, like. Kiki, I'm a big fan of Kiki. I think she got one of the most incredible voices, R&B, singing girl. But she's Prego about to drop. I mean, she Prego.
Yes.
So she came out, Prego, all of the dress, everything, and voice phenomenal. But just me as a picky promoter dude, and when I put my promoter hat on and I'm paying somebody to performance, I was underwhelmed because of the time. It was approximately 21 minutes, and you're the marquee name on this thing. You're after the intermission. The comedy show done went on. We done held down the first part, and now here we go. Everybody done got their drinks and situated and reserved VIP tables, and you ready, and you went. And to me, gave him a short show. So other than that, shit was perfect. I always take pride in, like, whatever my part is, whatever I'm supposed to do, knocking that shit out the park, and we good. So I don't care what happens after that. You can't say nothing about these dudes. You know what I mean? Just to give you an idea time-wise, we go on, let's say about 8:30, 8:45, whatever. We take it to 10:30, 10:45. So our front part of the comedy, 2 hours. Then you take a 20-minute intermission, and you come back and she just give you 20. You feel kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the dry. That's part of me, ladies. That's the dry hand job. That's the 2 hours of this shit. You in your mind, you like, She gonna spit on it? Do she have some lube in her bag? Like,
uh,
are we going in the pool? Like, I'm about to lose skin. After
what?
after an
Yeah,
hour and a half, I got to check on my skin at this point. So that's just how you feel. In other words, in one word, anticlimactic. You know what I mean? So
got it.
no takeaway to her skills and talent, not in question at all. I'm just saying, as a concert dude, if I was on the other end of the bag, you know what I mean, and I'm the guy paying everybody, that's how I would definitely be having conversation and holding somebody money up or somebody owe me, you know what I mean, something like to that effect or whatever. But nevertheless, we made it to Monday. Um, it's a feel good Monday for more than one reason.
Yeah,
We woke up. First of all, people, you woke up. A lot of people skip that most important, very important. First, that's the first time I talk to God. As I always go, thank you for allowing me another day to get it right. Right. We all, there's nobody that's a finished product. Let's just say that we're all work in progresses. So ain't nothing special about that. But to me, when he gives you another day to get another thing right, that's a big deal. So my first conversation is always that with God. Then there's always something, one or two things happen random throughout the day that I'll have epiphany like, yo, thank God for that, bro.
yeah, yeah,
It could be something light, it could be something heavy, it don't matter. Like, so you could do that right there. But yeah, it's a feel good day. The weather, got some
yeah.
good weather, which is good and bad in my house because like Kevin Hart said, the way my heat set up,
Me
I
too,
I don't
Nero.
want it too hot too soon because I'm around here like I got every window open, I got the
Open.
back door open, I got the front. Bruh, I'm like for 1 minute I had like a 2 hour span where the breeze was bananas through this joint, and then I didn't even realize the rain a little bit came through. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. So I just walked the dog and said, "Oh, it's wet out here, right?" And now the breeze is gone. So it's funny how when it ushers the water or storms come through, it's like a value meal at McDonald's. Come with the fries, and then it's gone.
yeah. I feel the same way. It's so funny that you say that. So, here in my crib, same thing. Like you said, the heat is on just because of the fact that it's summer. So I'm trying to deal with that. I mean, it's winter, but it's been warm. So I'm in here, rotisserie gold. I had the fan on the other night. I slept under the fan. I'm like, it's winter. Why am I sleeping under a fan in the winter? This is stupid. But if I didn't, I would have melted into the sheets. So I was like, look, we got to find some happy medium here. And it's not a hot flash or anything like that. But like you said, the heat is on so that, the temperature in your room or, in your home is, trying to compensate. So I'm just happy. I'm like, but I was happy to see 70. I think we got to like 75 today, which I thought was incredible. Just because, you know, it's not, I feel like the one thing that you have to kind of take into consideration, I feel like is always a given when the weather's nice. And I'm not talking about too hot. So I'm not talking about this 1,000 degrees. I'm talking about 75, somewhere up in there is you seem to feel happy when the weather's nice. I can't put my finger on it, but like I was watching people in and around my job. I was at work today. People had t-shirts out, they walking, riding bikes, everybody's just seemingly in a very jovial and, happy mood overall. So it's always kind of good to see that and to experience that. You fast forward, like you said, to tonight, we, faced with some rain. We got that going on. Um, and you just kind of try to figure out how to maneuver those spaces. I know you asked me a little bit earlier about some feel good stories. The funny thing is, beyond the wonderful vibration things that I tend to send to everybody and all of the feedback that I get from you guys, so I do appreciate when those vibration memes that I send to you are something that you utilize or in conjunction with what's going on in your life. I do appreciate you letting me know that, so thank you for that. But you know what? I did think about a feel good story that I saw relatively when I was home this weekend. So I saw Shaka Khan got interviewed by Lunel on Vlad TV, and it was actually a pretty cool interview. I mean, I know we have our ideals about Shaka Khan or any artist for that matter. And I've gone on record saying this. The one thing that I do love is watching artists in particular now tell their stories, truly tell their stories versus other people telling their stories. But long story short, they were asking about certain things, in it including Kanye West using her through the fire, um, and whatnot, and getting her permission. And she said that she really didn't care for it at first because, it didn't make sense to her. So Lunel brought up Lenny Williams had gone on record saying the same thing, but when Twister, utilized his song, to do his rap song, and she said that Lenny Williams changed his tune once those checks started coming in. She was like, he changed all of that. He became totally different. So that was kind of funny, just to hear. But what really impressed me is there's one song in particular that we love from Shaka Khan, that "Tell Me Something Good." Wow, wow. I never knew that she and Stevie Wonder actually wrote that together. A lot of people don't know that. She said she never got credit for it. She said because what happened was when her and Stevie wrote it, she didn't really know anything about writing at the time, and the credits and and all that kind of stuff. She said what happened is they had her and Rufus had covered a Stevie Wonder song that his manager at the time heard, and then he said to him, would you like to meet Stevie? So she said, sure. And she said the next day he brought Stevie to their session, and they were all like, oh my God, and Stevie was like, I really appreciate y'all kind of redoing my song or whatever. And he said, I, got some stuff for you. And she said he played one thing for her, and she was like, I don't like that. But then he played that, how the song makes those weird sounds. She was like, I like that. She said, and we sat down and the two of them wrote Tell Me Something Good. And I was like, wow. So see, stuff you don't know, that you can find out. And this is why, again, I also encourage y'all, through these various apps and, these interviews that you see, you never know what really cool, dope information you can pick up about some of your favorite artists and or entertainers, because like I said, now a lot of them are sharing, stuff that we didn't know as a collective. Some people in the industry and things like that may know them, but, your regular everyday, person probably doesn't know these things. And it seems really cool when you find that stuff out, because you're sort of like, wow,
That's so good. That reminds me of if you watched the Rick James doc, which
okay.
is also another like classic, but he goes through the same thing with Can't Touch This and Hammer. And he was, talking all type of smack about that until that, like you said, that check, like literally that was one of Hammer's, if not the biggest song, Can't Touch This.
Yeah.
All that money went to him. Like it was like he re-released his song, and it was even a bigger hit, and the check in the millions was crazy. Then it was all, hey, Hammer, But that's the American way. It go back to like what you said. You got a lot of this stuff. You have to admit we are who we are because how we are conditioned. Like how you said a few minutes ago about the weather. Something simple like the weather. Something simple about the weather, like we're taught that rain and storms represent gloom, and sunshine is the beautiful day. We've been conditioned, so we move accordingly. You know what I mean? It's like I'm watching, which inspires our guest today. I'm watching Genius, Kanye's documentary on Kanye, and he says something in there that I had to kind of like laugh at myself because I'm guilty of it. Right? He's like, "Yo, something. We gotta do what we gotta do. We only get 100 years." You know what I'm saying, on this earth, and da da da. And I just started laughing because I'm like, you really don't get 100 years. Like, there's no guarantee. I know people have lived to 100, and some people still living, but that's not a prerequisite. That don't come with it. All right, welcome to the world. You got 100 years. Clock ticks now. It don't happen. Like some people never, and we know that from living in the hood and how many people we lost. A lot of people are not going to even make 50. So,
Yeah.
but it brought to my mind the embedment of what we're raised on and what we're conditioned to believe or act as so. Now, back to the documentary, it inspired today's guest. Our guest today is no other than the incomparable, digging in the crates, sorcerer himself, Lord Finesse, right? And it reminded me by watching this. I said, you know what? Lord would be a perfect guest to come on today that we could talk to and go back to the beginning, because anybody that didn't see this Kanye documentary, let me sum up for you the angle that it's shot from. A fellow comedian of mine out of Chicago named Woody, he did BET's Comedy View. He was on his way to building his own comedy career and everything. And he was cool with Ye. So Ye was that guy in Chicago with that heat on him that, you're looking at him and the amount of production he was doing and selling beats to this one, that one, and the biggest artists wanted to talk to him. So you can see something's going to happen with this kid. And he asked him, hey, why don't you just follow me, man, and just take me. Let's shoot a documentary. This is before you make it. This is just right now while we working, Wody, sidelined his comedy career to do that. And the early on is very dope to see the changes in life as we pursue our goals and aspirations and how they may or may not change who we are along the way. And then it takes those things that to bump your head, so to speak, to recalibrate what you may have gotten off of. You may have let it take you down an alleyway or a direction that really is not that suitable for you, but you're going with the motion. The one thing I do know about it, Tim, and you as well, is it's a lot of going with the flow.
Yes,
it's a lot of that. So the problem is you got more of that than you got innovators and creators. You'll get one innovator or creator that'll do one thing, and then 1,000 dudes will follow that. And now it's the thing. It's what do you call it? Trap music. It's mumble rap.
Yeah.
It's neo soul. It's whatever we came up with. You had a handful you can count on your hands the innovators or creators of it, and then 1,000 follow, and now you got a thing. And ain't no different than anything. You go back to the early first horror flick. You know what I mean?
The Blob.
And it was shot, and then everybody, you remember the Blob? Then everybody goes, yo, I'm gonna do that. But everybody, hopefully, and this is what inspiration is. Everybody's supposed to. This is the way it's supposed to go. If you don't put any work to it and you just copy it, you're just a follower. You're just trying to make money off what already is there. But if you say, I could do that, but if I did it, it would have been right. You put your thing on it. That's why. Look at. Remember Night of the Living Dead?
Yeah.
In black and white, the one in black and white, and the graveyard and all that, right? And our guess is, and I'm gonna go to them in a minute. And you look at it, and as simple as it looked, that shit was scary, right?
Yeah.
But look how many zombies and Night of the Living Dead productions we have been through now. Fast forwarded 50 years, whatever years it is. That's what I mean by the innovative creative. Throw that one thing out there, and if they looking at your antennas. If they go up and we resonate, 1,000 people are gonna follow. So I want to get to the creative side of that. I want to get to the Kanye type of thing because our guest today, he knows those realms. He knows those production realms. He knows the studio like the back of his hand. He knows the DJing thing. More important, one of the hottest lyricists, rappers, of our time, of the real rap era, I like to call it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So welcome to Motivation Monday. Our good friend, you see us kicking it with him all the time. The Lord is in the building. Bring in Lord Finesse to Motivation Monday.
Yes.
What's up, Lord?
Yes. How y'all doing, man?
Salute. How you doing, King? How's everything, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm trying to get this volume. Y'all got me in here on the stream live. This is new for me. I'm trying to finagle where I don't hear the mic and like I hear y'all, but y'all way in the background,
Yeah. But you know what the problem is? You over there with the fucking Quincy Jones background. got the glasses on. I'm just waiting for Michael to walk behind you and go, you ready, Q?
Yeah, I'm trying to turn up the volume so I hear it clear,
Oh, you can't. So your volume's low.
My volume, like I'm probably level right, but I don't hear y'all coming through my phone at that level.
At the same, okay.
Yeah,
We hear
you
you
know,
clearly, though.
yeah,
We hear
that
you
used to
clearly.
happen to me, man. And then to put a long story short, I just got off of cricket. I just said I can't do this. I got a lot of work to do. I'm just going to do it. First of all, welcome to Mondays,
Welcome.
Fournette.
Yes, sir.
What up,
Welcome.
man?
I
I know
hope you
I'm
heard my
about to go
setup.
get my headphones. I'm about to really be in studio with y'all in a
You want to
minute.
go get them?
One second.
Okay, we'll give you a
Yeah.
second. Yeah, I want to get to the nitty gritty of in his mind because I'm not going to lie. When you grow up during something, you live through it, you miss
Mm-hmm.
something,
Yeah,
and it ain't
we
until
do.
later. And in hindsight, that's what we call like even with
Now I hear
sports.
y'all perfect now,
Oh,
you
it's good.
know?
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah.
I was saying to him, what made me hit you today and say, could you come on as a guest is I was finishing up this Kanye doc, watching it, the last joint just now.
Right.
And my boy, fellow comedian Woody, is the one who sacrificed, put his career to the side to go ahead and make sure he follow him and document his thing. And I'm looking at the production side. I'm looking at the early on stuff and status and stuff. And I'm like, you would be the perfect guest today because that's very inspiring, that beginning part. My first question for you, ladies and gentlemen, from Digging in the Crates, who we lived through this is a slew of production and artists and music. Rest in peace to Big L and all that. And those beginning stages, as a producer or someone in the studio working on what's about to be something we don't know yet, but it's for produce. That's me as a person. As a producer, is it a different feeling? You probably don't feel like I feel like when you got a hotness that you're working with, you already know it's going to be hot.
Nah, I don't think so, cause when I first started, like I tripped into it, right? I was around it, but I tripped into it. Meaning, I was around Premiere, I was around Show, I was around Diamond, but I never had that bug at first. I was just watching them all the time. And, to be truthful, I was chasing women. I'm like, yo, I'm hot right now. I'm chasing women.
He's
But
not hot right now.
yeah, I think when I did the You Know What I'm About soundtrack, right? That was like the first thing I did. You Know What I'm About was the first song I really produced by myself with nobody in there.
Okay.
And I had took that money and got me the equipment. Crazy thing is I'm by the equipment right now. Well, you can't see it. It's right here on the side of me.
Okay.
But I brought a SB 1200 and a 950.
Okay.
Show taught me how to work the 1200. So between being around Show and Large, I learned the SB 1200. My man, Bronx brother, Jesse West taught me the S950. And
Mm.
people was using those as a combination together. So I remember after I knocked out that soundtrack doing my first production by myself. I got this equipment and I locked myself in a house for like maybe a week and a half with the music. And a lot of stuff that Show showed me and Large showed me, it all started to make sense at that point. So y'all still there?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
said we
we
just
still
gave
here.
you the one. We just
We
gave you
just
the
gave you
one
the one
shot.
Yeah,
screen,
yeah. It
so
just
We
shot in one
we,
like I'm like,
we
am I
hey,
uh,
we call it the Quincy shot.
okay?
I told him hit the Quincy, let them glasses shine. You feel me?
yeah.
So you now I
So
remember those days. Like you bring up the
I
twelve
locked
hundred.
myself in, right?
Uh
Mhm.
And I made this beat tape, cassette. And I thought it was some stuff I thought was cool. And I'm playing it for people. I'm like, yo, tell me what you think of this. I ain't tell them nothing. Just tell me what you think of this. Yo, who did this shit? And I was like, you like that? Oh man, this shit is crazy. I was like, I did it. Oh nigga, you ain't do that shit.
huh.
I'm like, yo, I locked myself in the house and I learned this. You did all this shit in a week? Nah, fuck out of here. You ain't do this much on your first two albums.
That's funny.
So it told me if I'm arguing with people about production that I did and they don't believe I did it, it must sound good then. And I went from there. And the earlier work was, if you listen to Lifestyles of the Poor and Dangerous, Big L's first album, that's my first production.
Wow.
If you
Wow.
listen to if you listen to Notorious Big, the Party and Bullshit remix, first production.
Wow.
SWV right here remix, first production. So
Wow.
at that point, I'm like, damn, man, I must got something. But what made me really love it even more is I could actually be in the background, produce this music, and still get royalties and publishing. So I
That's
could do the rap thing one way and be in the background doing this and getting paid twice. And that's what
nice.
made me say, yo, I'm doing this shit. And even when I fell back from rap, it was like I could still produce. Like I always tell people, man, don't listen to other people. Don't let nobody put an expiration on your vision, on what you feel. Cause you can't fucking tear an ACL in music.
True.
You could do
True.
music as long as you want to do music.
No question.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question real quick. So to back up a little bit, because I remember I see coming up in rap group and all that stuff, and that's with Eddie F and all them. I'm very familiar with that 12 SP 1200 and the 808 had the kick and
Okay.
snare. It had a certain snare that bounce bass beat. It was a thing. Like I told Amir, it was all these little trends that kept going. Digging in the crates, DITC. Who's making up that? Like, what's every member in DITC?
Well, man, DITC is like, man, it starts with Show and Diamond.
Okay.
They the ones that wanted to do the first thing. They thought about Dusty Fingers at first because they felt like when you was digging through the records, you get Dusty Fingers, so you called Dusty Fingers. And then they said, nah, digging in the crates. And that
nice.
was Show and Diamond.
Okay.
I grew up with Show and Diamond as well as Mike Smooth, but I knew Show and Diamond was doing beats. Diamond had the first record with him and Master Rob and the Ultimate Force. People don't know Diamond goes that far back when they
Wow.
had
Wow.
that the guitar, the bam 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 bam
Oh,
bam.
okay. Wow.
And
Okay.
I live in
Wow.
Forest across from Morris. I got more hair on my chest than Chuck Norris.
Yeah.
Smooth as silk, sharp as a blade. That's Diamond and Master Rob,
Okay. Wow.
and that's who I was around in my younger years. So they was already doing it. Show was probably the only one I knew in a project that had like the studio setup in his crib like that, with the rolling 909 and all that. So he was doing beats early. So when I was working on Funky Technician, I told Mike like, "Yo, man, I gotta check Diamond and Show. They got some shit." Diamond went on doing half the album.
Wow.
Premier was just fresh from Texas.
Wow. Okay.
Guru was the one that picked my tape out the demo thing.
Get
Mm.
out of here.
Yeah,
Wow.
my story goes back.
Wow. Okay.
So Guru was telling the owner, "Yo, we gotta sign this dude. This dude, he's special." The owner really didn't know. So boom, Premier they just finished the No More Mr. Nice Guy album, Gangster.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's when you hear words that I manifest. Do 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 do
Doom,
do
doo,
do
doo,
do
doo,
do
doo,
do.
doo. Yeah.
So boom, I'm in a new music seminar in 1989 before I start working on Funky Technician, and he got Premier in the crowd. Like, look, man, we just signed this dude. Tell me what you think. I'm in a new music seminar. So I'm up there against all these other rappers that sign the labels or the so-called best in the city, and I'm like, I felt like that was the best way to get my buzz right. So I ain't gonna front. the first round that I was in was against the winner of the previous year, was Mikey D.
Mm.
He
Mm.
won the whole shit in '88. So, when they called me up, yeah, the round before the next round is the champion of last year, New World Seminar champion Mikey D. And I was like, oh shit. And next up, Lord Finesse. That's how they announced the shit. Like, ooh, Lord Finesse. I'm terrified. I ain't going front. This nigga won it the whole year before. And I'm like, shit, how am I gonna tell niggas I lost in the first round? That's what's going through my mind. It wasn't even a fact of winning, right? I'm just gonna run through. So, long story short, I beat him in the first round.
Nice.
And the buzz started like, oh shit, this Lord Finesse, this nigga had metaphors and punchlines. I ain't
Yeah, mad
I ain't
metaphor.
I ain't win the whole thing, but it was just something upcoming that, like a motherfucking movie trailer, like, yo, I gotta see the rest of this movie with this nigga. This nigga gonna be something else. So Premier was in the crowd, and Stu Fine was like, well, would you like to work with him? Premier like, fuck yeah, we going after this. And people don't know Premier produced strictly for the ladies. Premier did that.
Oh, wow.
People don't
Okay.
know that. I was the first artist he worked with outside of Guru, right?
Wow.
Wow. It,
So now I'm a bring it back to full, right? So now I'm in there working on Funky Technician. I've known AG since my high school days. I battled AG in Clinton. So come to find out, he's dating a chick across the street from where I live at. I bump into him. We catch up. I'm like, yo, you still rhyme? He was like, hell yeah, I'm working on my album. Boom. Grab AG. He's the only feature on the first album. Only one I really knew was AG. So bring AG in. At that time, Show did back to back rhyming and just a little something. A was looking for a DJ and Show was looking for an artist. And that's how you got Show and AG during the Funky Technician.
wow. Wow. That's
Diamond
great.
was producing, so you had Diamond, Show, me, A. Premier is always going to be that honorary member from the gate. So boom. Now Diamond, nobody knew Diamond Rhyme. I'm thinking he just a producer. Then you got Best Kept Secret. Showing them go on from the red label, Soul Clap is a single, to signing with Payday, and you got Runaway Slaves, they
Wow.
first album.
Got you. Got you.
So you got me, Show, A, Diamond. Joe was hustling, doing his thing, getting his money, but he wanted that. I want shit. All these niggas coming out. I want to Fat Joe the gangster. Nobody really took Joe serious. Hey, this nigga ain't gonna rhyme until nigga entered the rap night at the Apollo. They had a rap night on Wednesdays. This nigga won 4 weeks in a row.
What, Joe?
Mm.
Joe. What was crazy, he had the singer, two background dancers. I'm like, shit, I ain't even have all this shit. But he won 4 weeks in a row. And Diamond got him a deal with Relativity, and that's when you get Represent, his first album.
Okay. Wow.
The song Flojo used to be a promo for Red Alert, where
Wow.
if the beat would come on, bang, bang. This is Joe the Gangster. You listening to Red Alert 97, 98.7 promo.
Seven. Uh-huh.
And then he wind up making that the first single. He just put a hook to it. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. And that was his first single.
Wow.
So now you got me, Show, A, Diamond, Fat Joe. All right. Now towards the second album, I was working on the second album, but Mike wasn't traveling with me as much. So I was making mixtapes. And
Gotcha.
during my journey of making mixtapes, I meet Buck Wild. I'm telling the dude's like, yo, Ness, you gotta do some more mixtapes. I ain't have no turntables in the crib. In comes Buck Wild. He was like, yo, Buck, you mind if Ness come to your crib and do a mixtape? Buck was like, sure. We've been tight since.
Mm.
That's
So
crazy.
I'm just telling you how organically it happened. It wasn't a plan. So
I love the energy of it, how it comes together, and that's the thing. Like I said, watching this thing here, I'm like, we know so many people in our circles, and like Amir brought up several times, like it's great when you go get a chance to go back and hear their story from them, because it's easy to tell a story from the bits and pieces you sew together, but nothing's going to be as organic when it comes from the people who actually did it or lived it or
right,
it happened to them. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I could be like, yo, it was a fight on the corner. He swung on him. He ran.
right.
It ain't gonna be like when you ask the nigga who got punched in the face, yo, what happened? I heard you got punched in the face. Man, that nigga fast. I went to tie my shoe. Like you get it's a whole different POV and aspect. His shit gonna be way the most organic because he's the dude in the mix of it. It's one thing to tell, the story that like how many times you watch TMZ gotta go back and correct some shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Because they'd have jumped out, oh, this nigga did that, and the nigga calling it, that's not what happened,
But
B.
I'm telling you, this is only like maybe 3/5 of the story,
See?
right?
Wow.
So now Buck is DJing with me on the road.
Uh-huh.
We go on this Source tour, and on this Source tour, got a bunch of artists. Bismarck was the tour DJ for it. God bless. It was Roxanne Shante. It was a bunch of groups, and then you had a group called Organized Confusion with Pharoah Monts and
I
Prince
remember
Punch.
that.
Yeah.
Boom.
That's whew.
On the road with them, because he was on a single, Fudge Pudge was OC. So
Wow.
during the tour, OC and Buck, they kicking it and they polying. And Buck said, yo, man, after this tour, man, I'm gonna try to work with OC and get him a deal. Now Buck done left the supermarket, became a producer. He like, man, I don't want to do the supermarket shit. Yo, show me some of that shit on the drum machine. And Buck's first work, well, the first joint Buck produced was, the shit is real. Diamond 12-inch that I'm on there with Sadat X and Diamond. That was Buck Wild's first production.
Wow.
And then after the Source tour, he took OC, and that's how you got the album Word Life. Right after
Mm.
that tour, they started working on that. So
Wow.
now you got me, Show, Diamond, A, Fat Joe, Buck Wild, OC. During the autograph signing, I'm in there signing the Funky Technician. I'm doing an autograph signing for that. A young kid come in there by the name of Big L with him and his man. And he sends his man over like, yo, man, yo, my boy over there, he's nice. He want to rhyme for you. Now, if we had $100 for every time somebody said that
Somebody.
shit, we'd be fucking caked out.
But I was just about to say, you gotta love that era though. That was our era. You just get next to the click, yo, my man, nice.
Yeah. So I'm telling him, look, man, I done heard it all. I done heard millions of MCs. I'm like, yeah, all right. Yo, here's my manager number. Tell him to call him and let manager sort it out. And he tells L, dude, come back over. My man said, fuck that. Rhyme for you. If you don't like him, he'll never fucking bother you again. This nigga doubled down on the bet. I'm like, shit. I'm like, all right. They had equipment in the back. I forgot who was cutting for Big L, but they had equipment and a microphone.
Wow.
And he rhymed for me. And when he finished rhyming for me, I was asking for all his numbers.
Certainly.
You know?
Pager. You got a
So
two-way.
yeah, so stuff like that, it all came together organically. So we wasn't in a crew first like Wu Tang and then broke apart. We all, and that's what makes DITC that much more intricate and complicated, is everybody was successful on their own.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Runaway
you really
slaves, stunts, blunts, and hip hop represent fucking lifestyles of the poor and dangerous, word life. So now when you getting everybody together and to do one album, everybody got all types of now we should do this, we should do that. When you got 8 chefs in the kitchen, it gets
It's a
very
lot.
complicated.
No question.
Especially when all the chefs are, successful in all their restaurants.
Gotcha.
It
I
ain't
gotta.
like, a nigga came from the food truck, so you don't have no opinion. Like, nah.
I
Everybody got their own shit going on.
I got a question for you, Lord, because like I said, my story with you is, like I said, came across you when you were doing everything on IG, and like I said, some Saturday, I don't know how I came across it, but I'm, watching you DJ. When you DJ, because for those who may or may not, or who watch this later, every Saturday this man does a brunch, 12 o'clock here on the East Coast, 9 a.m. on the West Coast on Twitch. If you ain't checked it out, please do yourself a favor and check it out. But what I wanted to ask you is because of, again, the name of your crew, you have such a broad knowledge of music. Do you
Speaking of
ever,
music, this is why.
yeah, no question, no question. But with that knowledge of music, do you ever feel like overwhelmed about being prepared for what you're going to do on your brunch sessions because you know so much music and there's, probably so many different ways you could take, the vibe?
It depends. Like, I take Saturday brunch like a radio show, but the only thing is you don't get to repeat everything every week. So when I'm doing brunch, I'm always thinking about what can I do that's different? What can I do that's new? I always want it to be a fresh vibe. It got to be fresh. I don't want it to be stale. I don't want people to be going, okay, I know what he's going to do now. It got to constantly be fresh. So between going on iTunes, between getting music from up and coming producers, some of the beats you hear during brunch are dudes that ain't even established yet.
Mm,
They might have
nice.
a band camp. I might go to their band camp and buy 4 or 5 of their albums because I like what they doing and I'm taking what they're doing and exposing it to y'all.
Nice.
So some
Nice.
of the beats that y'all hear, you go, damn, that beat is crazy. Like what I did with the Kings of Down with the Kings this
Yes.
weekend. That beat is from a dude called Vitamin D. He's out of Seattle. But
Okay.
what he did with that Mardi Gras shit is fucking genius.
Yeah, that was crazy. Woo. By the way,
So
go ahead. I'm sorry, Lord.
I just try to constantly just look around. I want to do what other people aren't doing. It's too easy to play what the fuck they play on the radio all day, every day. How hard is that?
Yeah.
But to be able to take people on a journey every weekend, and whether I hit you with the classics or some funk or some neo soul or introduce you to some new shit, I live for that. And I make sure I really don't play during the week unless I got a gig or something. So when Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on the West Coast hit, I'm amped. I'm okay. I'm ready to do some shit this Saturday. I'm gonna play some shit this Saturday.
but let me ask you, for a man that wears several hats, speaking, of my own truth, how do you find the passion? Because it is Motivation Monday, and being motivated is finding the passion to do something, or 9 times out of 10 you procrastinate or don't get done. Is your passion in the same place as, let's say, like the stories you're telling when you went to rapping, when you went to producing? Is the passion there when you go to DJing and you doing your brunch Saturdays and stuff like that?
Yeah, the passion is there, but I look at it like this, and I got this from Jazzy Jeff, right? Jazzy Jeff was talking to another artist that wears several hats, and he said, "Yo, won't you do some music?" And the other dude was like, "Man, they call me the old head. Niggas ain't checking for me. Yo, when I was in the industry, this happened. Blah 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 blah." and he said something that was just the profoundest shit I ever heard. He said, "What did music ever do wrong to you?" And we
Mm.
said, "What you mean?" He said, "What did music ever do wrong to you?" It's like, yo, man. He said, "Cause I hear what you saying, and all that shit is outside of the music, but you taking it out on the very thing that made you who you are,
Wow.
took you out the fucking hood, made you go all around the world, and you let some industry shit fuck with your mind that you don't want to do the very thing you supposed to love."
Wow.
And I never really looked at music the same again because
Wow.
he's absolutely fucking right. Like, how can you get bored of what helped you? You know, you just got to learn how to turn off the industry. Mute all that shit. Hit the mute button on these motherfuckers.
Oh, you got to say that. That's hold pause that right there. That's the line. That's you talk about. I love when I hear a line that sums so much up. That's it right there. You know what I'm saying? That line right there is the end all be all of the shit. B, you're absolutely right. Like, and how many of us in our everyday movings do that? Like we shit on one thing because something else pissed us off, or we getting our feelings about something else. That shit ain't do nothing to you. Man,
Right,
fuck bike riding. The bike ain't do nothing to you. You've been getting all around the Bronx on a nice 21 speed.
right.
You hit one rock. Fuck that
Nah.
bike. The bike ain't do
Or
nothing,
or,
bro.
or niggas, they'll fucking manipulate you. What the fuck you doing on that 21 speed, nigga? That shit corny. Niggas don't ride that shit. Next thing you know, you in there, yeah, fuck that bike. I need a motorcycle now. I need a scooter. You wasn't worried about the scooter then, but and Amir can attest to this. Every time I'm on the live, man, I tell people the greatest journeys in life, you're gonna have to walk on your own. The greatest journeys and the
Yes.
battles, you're gonna have to walk on your own. If
Yes.
you ain't prepared to do this shit on your fucking own, quit. Quit. Stop talking to niggas. Well, what you think? Yo, I was thinking about doing this. Yo, I want to do. Fuck them. What do you want to do? Because if they don't approve of it, you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it. If they can't walk with you or go to a show with you, you ain't gonna do it. That's why people get all fucked up. They stop waiting on people. You
Do your thing.
motherfucking got a job interview that's yours. Your mom said go down there, they're gonna give you 25 an hour. Yo, speak to so and so, and you got the job. No, motherfuckers want to bring somebody with them. I'm gonna see if I could give Tyrone a job too. Fuck up everything. Come home to your moms. Say, did you get the job? Or not? They gave the job to Tyrone. How the fuck Tyrone know about the job?
Real talk. You ain't never lied, Lord. You ain't never lied. So, okay, I got another question for you. Also, for those who are gonna catch this, Motown State of Mind.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible project, by the way. In case y'all haven't
Oh
checked his brother's Motown State of Mind project, please do. Look, do yourself a favor. I don't overly be excited about any one thing, but this project in particular, super off the charts. But the reason why I bring that up, Lord, is because when I heard the not only the artists and the songs that you chose, obviously to
yeah.
uh, reproduce or to manipulate in the ways that you did, what made you choose Motown as opposed to maybe any other label or you know uh, uh, situation? Because like I said, the artists in particular that you chose and the way that you remastered those classics is unparalleled. Like literally, that's a whole thing that you can listen to all day, and you don't have to fast forward or anything. You just be sitting there like, "Yo, this is my joint right here." I've put so many people on to that project in particular, old and young, who didn't even know it existed. And they were like, and I was like, "What are y'all doing with your lives? How do y'all not know about this?" But it's just one of those things. But like I said, what made you, again, choose that in particular, as well as your latest project, which is the Barry White um,
Right.
thing that you have out now, which you can share with the audience as well.
Right. I mean, well, what happened is I was DJing in the club, and just like I play brunch and I do mashups and play different versions, same thing I did with this club. It was LA Boombox. I
Okay.
remember it was December 6th, one of those years. But I was in there and I'm rocking. I'm rocking. The crowd going bananas. I'm playing all types of shit, and one of the executives from Universal was like, "Yo, man, what was all you was playing some shit I never heard of. You was playing different versions, different. I know the record, but where's those versions?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's stuff I do in the house when I get free time. I like to make my own shit because I'm a DJ, and I think when you play, you want to play you. You want to give people a taste of you." So he was like, "Man, you ever thought about doing a project like that?" And I was like, "Nah, but shit, you want to do one?" He was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yo, what you want to do?" And, I couldn't think of nothing offhand, but I know a lot of my mashups was Motown. So I figured if I pick Motown, I'm halfway done, you know, because they said, "We want you to do 7 joints." So I already knew 4 off a hand. So and you can't lose with Motown.
Facts.
Only challenge is don't fuck up Motown.
The only challenge. That's everything.
Yeah. Hey,
Hey,
you heard what
listen, man.
that boy do to that perfectly good class? Why they let that young boy fuck that shit up?
That's
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 what they
e-
gonna
that's
say.
either you know what that's like song is like that for me. Before I let go with Beyonce, like the jury, that's a 50-50 hit or miss. Like half the people I know, like she fucked that shit up, and then half the people, we like it. So it's like if you like her, you kind of like it, but if you just
Right,
listening to it based off of what you've been drilled with hearing, you might feel a little something different. You know what I mean? So
right.
tomatoes. You know what I mean?
So, I knew with the response I was already getting from like the Marvin, the Wanna Be Where You Are, I kind of knew like, no, I got some joints already. The Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5 tribute. I had joints that I was already getting a tremendous buzz. Now I just get to go with the masters off the reels and clean all that shit up and do it very professional. And then,
Gotcha.
you add I always love Switch, They'll Never Be.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that was but you only got to hear that shit at like 1, 2 a.m. in our era. They wasn't
No
playing
question.
that
No
during the
question.
day. So
No question.
you got
What
that.
what's that shit we always say on the box seats, Amir? It wasn't in my market.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Wasn't in my. That's how you know we live, bro. Certain shit we say, you have to be a certain age to even be able to say. Like it wasn't my market. Ain't no more markets. Like you could stream anything anywhere with Wi-Fi. But when we was coming up, yeah, Boston played tonight. Tell me how it was.
yeah.
Okay.
Nah, but brother, I mean, we need a 2 hour show to really fuck with you. But I appreciate you coming
Nah, I
in here
appreciate y'all having
and
me. I
laying some.
love what
We
y'all.
got a continuation of this. I appreciate your time, bro. This is the
Well,
incomparable
we
Lord
gonna
Finesse.
continue. We gonna continue tomorrow offline in here with some drinks.
We there. We there. Say
Yes,
less.
sir.
Say less.
Yes,
Salute,
sir.
Yeah.
King. Thank you for popping in, bro.
Ah, man, thanks for having me, man.
Already. Love you,
All
man.
right,
That's what I'm
King.
talking about right
Uh,
there.
all right.
All right, baby. That's what I'm talking about right there. Ladies and gentlemen, super producer, artist, one of the best rap lyricists, DJ extraordinaire now. You got the shit on lock. That's the incomparable Lord Finesse. You see what I'm saying though? Like
Yeah.
it's
Just
just certain shit, but it's shit like that that give you that background insight. That was a verbal uh 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 literally a verbal fucking documentary.
documentary. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Wasn't it?
Yep.
It was
Yep.
like all them lazy people that don't like to read books no more. They like to hear the
Yeah.
book. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
So You know, them people, that was for them. That was like,
Yeah.
they get to just walk around and listen to a
Mm.
documentary of digging in the crates. And if you think about just the name alone, if you ever picked up a Digging in the Crates record or album, they was on to something way before their time because now everything's abbreviated.
Yes, yes, no question. And you got that, and then if you really paid attention to, you got the jewel of understanding what organic can and should be. You know what I mean? Like he brought, like you said, to life what organic is. And I
Yeah.
think that, sometimes we don't give enough credit to that energy and synergy. I know for a lot of us, even to what he said about, you wanting what you want, that's fine. But understand that in your wanting whatever it is you want, the universe has heard you. God, again, whatever your higher power being, is, has heard you. It starts bringing things that match what you're asking for. The trick is paying attention to what's coming because so many of us have a specific ideology of what we think it looks like versus what's come to help us get
Right.
to where we're trying to get to. So I always encourage everybody, please, once you start putting things, prayer, once you start meditating,
Mm-hmm.
once you start, thinking in your mind, saying things silently to yourself, once you start utilizing, all of these formats, what you're doing is you're telling the universe what it hopefully should be sending your way in order to help facilitate that manifest that dream. But what you have to do is pay attention to the things that are coming because chances are they are part of the manifestation. But you got to know where to put those pieces. Y'all always hear me, use the analogy about the puzzle. Don't put the piece for the sky down there with the grass. That's not where it goes. But put that up there with the sky and wait for the other pieces for the sky to come in and then, continue on with the grass like you're supposed to be doing. Sometimes we get a little confused and we get frustrated, and patience is a big one as well. I know, Talon started off by even mentioning, the fact about the 100 years. But what I want people to understand is sometimes we also get that misconstrued because in our minds we think that you got to work and do all this stuff. Unfortunate analogy. I just bring this up because we were using music in this particular moment. But you look at Tupac, you look at Biggie. These are two young men who we lost at the age of 25 or somewhere around that time. Go back though and look at their body of work. It was really only a 4-year, 5-year time span that they did all of the stuff that we have, that has become so legendary, that has
Right.
become, such a thing that we're still living through it and it's a part of us now. So you can do the same thing. It's just a matter of understanding that utilizing your time wisely and putting forth the time, energy, and effort
Right.
on a constant basis will get you to the things that you're hopefully looking to do. So, this one was another dynamic Monday for me because, again, to hear Lord just, dropping those, little bits and pieces. And like I said, please, I kid you not, if y'all haven't heard Motown State of Mind, T, when you tell them that Motown State of Mind is bananas. Like, you'll have that in your car, you'll have it in your headphones, on everything. It's that,
Right. Right.
it's that dynamite.
Yeah. It is what it is. When I tell you that, a beginning, humble beginnings to me is everything. Like, we could look at a finished product all day, or we could look at something and go, oh, that's shiny, or that's this or that, or that's bad, or but when you go behind the music, that I think that's why that show was so great. Behind the music and unsung, people
Yes.
love those kind of shows because anything that I deem great or fantastic already, of course I'm gonna love knowing how it got done. Who ain't? I mean, how many times what became big? Perfect example. Guess what came big? Like after all those comedy movies became really funny and big, all of them, Eddie Murphy's or National
Mhm.
Lampoon, they started to do the outtakes because they
Yeah.
were like, yo, of course, if this shit is funny, if I played it 2 times, you fucked up and we laughed on the set, that's funny. You put the people in that moment of making the moment. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like the documentary we're working on right now. This is Comedy is the working title for This is Comedy, and it's a documentary capsulizing the past 30 years, how what we're so vividly and quick to call black comedy has became just comedy.
Comedy.
So
Yeah.
we break down the transition of how it, where it started, where it went, and how it become to be where we are today. But even in that shit, bro, it's like so many of those artists that we homemade people to us and we love and all that. Of course, if you love them, you love to hear their story. People who love Kevin Hart, they love to hear what happened, how did Kev go, what he went through, the father, the mother. Oh, where are you from the hood? Da, da, da. That even intensifies and adds to the finished product.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying? When you say Stevie Wonder's a living epitome of it. You take this talented young man or young boy at the time, sing his ass off, play the piano and compose and all that, and that's amazing. And then you throw in he's blind though, he can't even see. Takes it over the top. It takes something already great over the top. Oh, and this nigga can't see? Wow. You know what I mean? So those things, it happened in the movies and TV where they show you the outtakes, the documentaries, the making ofs, blah, blah, blah. So the documentary I'm doing, you know, my son, you know, he's seen it. He was like, oh, I want to do it. I said, son, there's already production in place or whatever. I said, why don't you do the making of the making of? There's a whole nother story to be told. And
About
the finished product we about to put together, there's a story to be told about why we even want to tell that story.
yes.
You understand what I'm
Yes.
saying? So that's what the flag went off and the light bulb went off watching Genius. And I don't care, you know, when nobody say the best thing about the documentary is the beginning and the end. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good shit in the middle, a lot of meat in the middle. But the things that to me that drove it home for me is, again, humble beginnings, always going to rank everything out. But it came full circle at the end and chomped on mental health and mental
Yeah.
illness. You know what I mean? And the fact that, because, you know, he got to oversee it for it to get released to Netflix or whatever. But the fact that he watched that and he approved that and let that go out, that's big on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's big on him. When they show us sometime in our less than perfect light and we still say, okay, keep that. There's something big to be said about that. Speaking of that, fucking Netflix went up again.
Yeah, I heard.
My shit gonna be $20, man, in a few weeks.
Yeah, I heard.
I'm not very happy about that. I'm not very.
You know what's so crazy? Everything is going up. I'm fighting. I was fighting with the, you know, the bodega dude because they got these Hershey chocolate like little cupcakes, and it was $1.49 for a nice little minute. Then they hit me with the $1.75 the other day. I was like, yo, what the? And the dude was like, nah, you know. Then I had to think about it. I was like, you know what? You're right. My bad. But they be dying because the man who owns it is, you know, it's the Arab spot. And I know the father and all of the sons. So I'm one of the few people who don't really scream at them like that. I kind of just, you know, be in there like, yo, y'all in the hood. We trying to support your place. Support us too. Don't be in here just gouging, you know, the neighborhood and act like he's like, no, we don't do that. You know, whatever, my brother, you know, whatever. I'll be like, man, y'all can go ahead with that brother stuff. I see the prices in here, you know, all over the place. Like, chill. Like, don't do that shit.
It's
But
like,
I
go ahead with
realize
that
that,
brother stuff,
yeah,
yo.
but I
Hey,
realize
listen, man.
that,
I
you
know we over.
know,
Shout out to our super producer, Prophet Pete,
Prophet
for
P.
putting up with our tardiness. Shout out to our guest today. The feel good guest was Lord Finesse, digging in the crates.
Yes,
I'm your
yes.
boy Talent. That's Amir. Amir, you gonna get the honors of taking us out today, my brother.
Yay. Again, it's Monday, people. Hopefully, wherever you are, the weather is starting to make those changes. If it hasn't made those changes already, as always, check on your people. Don't be so hard on yourself. Know that you're incredible, you're amazing. All the stuff that you already do, look at how far you've come. Stop looking in that rearview mirror. Look in the front, look in front of you. There's still 1,000 wonderful things to happen that haven't happened for you yet, but you got to stay looking forward and not looking back. I say that to you. You know my line. I tell you this to everybody. It's nice to be important, but it's much more important to be nice. Take that with you, apply it to your life. I promise you, it'll open up doors and broach friendships and relationships that you couldn't even begin to imagine. That man is talent. Like you said, we had the great, incomparable Lord Finesse today, and all of you wonderful people who commented as we did the show today. So blessings to you all. I look forward to either speaking to y'all at some point during the week, Friday, or we're going to do it again on Monday. So everybody have a great evening. God bless.